Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. The veteran QB leading him out there in his 13th year now from USC. It's Matt Castle.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And that'll set him back 5. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
2016 was a very tough year for Cleveland offensively, but head coach Hugh Jackson, who also handles the play calling, has high hopes for 2017 with a revamped offensive line and his creativity in play calling.
They'll set up a throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And out now, here come the Bengals. On 1st and 10, Stanton, and it's caught over the middle. Wilson, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Second down and just 1. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And it's 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati defense is well respected around the league, but they didn't play to their standard in 2016 if you just look at the pure numbers. Ended up 17th overall in total defense, but in a tough division that they're in, the AFC North, they have to be better against the run. They ranked just 21st in 2016. That's got to change for them to make the improvement they want in 2017.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 25 carries, 85 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. To throw on 2nd down. Stanton. Over the middle here to Wilson. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-all the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. Now, check.
This is Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and it's a 2nd down.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Now Stanton, complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
From the gun on third down, Stanton. He's got Sanu. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Here's Carson. Ooh, with a juke. Fights through, and now a crease. And now the rookie's free. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now back to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. A look look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They run it with Carson. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now we give to the first man through, and that's Johnson. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of you.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They run again with Carson. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here we go. 3-19.
Stanton. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Cleveland after this. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals grab it. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Their mobile quarterback with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Forbath out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may...
And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Now that's a rare sight indeed, but one that their fans hope that they'll see much more of in 2017.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's over the middle. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Browns are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Bengals didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, they'll go with the run here. And he caps off the 6-play drive with a score as they take the lead 7-3. 1st and 10, here the catch is made way downfield. And this great play will go for 6 as that levels the score at 10-10. Now 1st and 10, Cooper's going to make the catch but fumble here. Bengals pick up the football and score. The Bengals tied up at 10. Browns have it at the 9. They'll go to the ground here. And he scoots into the end zone for his second TD. That takes the lead up to 7.
Forbath out to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Getting it out left side to Sanu. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Wendell Smallwood, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Forbath out to kick this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
Here we go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got a man, it's right. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. Green 39.
Throwing on 1st down. Stanton. He finds the rookie from Alabama, O.J. Howard. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Hang on now. Green 39.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start. Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now it's Carson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. Blue line it.
Operating from the gun. Stanton. And some room to maneuver. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Lutz's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run the counter now on first down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They go play action here on first down. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And we're back now here in Cleveland as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. On 4th down, Edwards. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
On first down, Stanton. They find some open field. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Back to throw here. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he gives this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. That's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. DeForest Buckner continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to throw on second down. Stanton. And his pass incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the Bengals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Stanton. And right with it here, over the middle. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's airing it out for Sanu. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Wendell Smallwood with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw on second down, Stanton. His throw is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Stanton, and that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Let's go.
3rd down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Cleveland, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.